welcome to the number 2.
Dos.
Second episode of Guide for an African Gen Z. So you're with me, your boy Steve, and
the Punisher, Prince.
Basi Kudimatembo.
Basi Punisher.
Alright.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm alright, man. Last time you complained, I didn't ask you how you are.
I'm good right now. I'm good, man. Can't complain that much. Yeah. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man.
I'm
good.
With this weather, man.
It's raining. It's raining a lot in Blantyre.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm very thankful. I mean, Chimanga
yugula.
Tija doe.
Do ajedwa. Chimanga panoba chikhala swanyezi yayi.
Bro.
Chinamba guma.
Yeah, it was year level, man. So
Chimanga chinamba kubereka chonchi. It's like mwana wazaka 12 anamba kubereka.
Chief. Mambo gamba za yone go post. Relax.
Tingamangidwe.
Yeah, man. So today actually I wanted us to talk about relationships.
As in zibwenzi. But you don't think about
Zibwenzi. I wanted us to talk about relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm coming from a place where there are stages to a relationship.
Exactly.
People just don't get into a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think as the purpose of this podcast is to help people to actually navigate different spaces that they'll actually be going through.
Yeah.
So youth or young adults, one of the most vital things that they'll go through is relationships.
Exactly.
So maybe one question I would actually ask you is, how important has relationships proven to your life? Is it relevant? Like, do you see the importance of it? I mean, right now you're a young adult. How do you see it? How do you see relationships? Does it have an impact in your life?
Well, I'm a religious person, so I would say yes, because even the Bible says procreation.
Okay.
How can we procreate if we don't have relationships?
That's a big word. I'll Google it later, man. Like, I will Google.
Procreation. Chulugana ningati nchenga Bible nalero bacha.
Yeah.
So titengereza biblically, relationships have always been there. God created Adam and Eve in the first place. That was the first relationship.
Yeah.
You see? So to every human being, relationships are normal, and it's something that even God gave us. So it has proved to be fruitful, something good. Yeah, that's what I can say. And to Timaona, it's normal. Even yourself, I'm sure you have been in a relationship before, and you have experienced like the ups and downs of relationships. They are not smooth all the time, even the relationships that I have encountered. So this is my car smooth, but all in all, they're good.
I see you.
Oh, it's all good, man. It was written.
I mean, heartbreaks, eh? They didn't write those in the Bible that this gender, the other gender will break your heart. But like you say,
even men break hearts of the ladies.
I feel like we shouldn't even go there. That's a very controversial space. But yeah, relationships have been very great. Because one thing I noticed is that relationships came naturally for us, for people. We want to be accepted. I feel like to cut the story short, humans were social creatures. I feel like just how God designed us by nature, we cannot run away from it. I was checking out some podcast earlier this week. So those guys were doing a study of, they took people when they were young, I think when they were 14, and then they were studying them for a period of close to 100 years, if I'm not mistaken. Just trying to understand what would be the core root of happiness. They were trying to see what factors and attributes would actually make a person happy. And one thing that actually concluded their research was that the people who had meaningful relationships, they created meaningful relationships in the sense that they had children, they had great-grandchildren, they had healthy relationships with their partners. They seemed to be the happiest people. They actually lived longer. And I think from their research, they had less susceptibility to things like diseases and stuff like that, they were healthier than the people who were actually alone.
So are you saying it's wrong to be alone? Because there are so many single people out there, man.
I feel like
And at the same time, there are people who are in relationships, but they're not happy.
that is very true. I feel like that's why I'm hinging on healthy.
Yeah.
Because I've come to the realization that people actually we attach ourselves to unhealthy relationships for so many reasons.
Toxic ones. Yeah.
Very toxic, and I think this would be a topic for another day. But usually it stems from things that we've gone through in our childhood.
Yeah, of course.
So we're compensating or looking for something that will fill up a gap.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hinging on unhealthy. But from personal experience,
Yeah.
like when I started staying alone,
Yeah.
as a bachelor, I think we're very excited about staying alone.
Yeah.
I'll stay alone. I think I've got
The independence.
this crazy thing. I'll stay alone. You feel like every day is gonna be a party.
Yeah.
But let me not lie to you, man. That was like the worst period of my life.
Because it's like you don't experience a life umakhala when you are living with your parents or guardians.
That's interesting. Like
that transition right there.
Are we assuming that I had been brainwashed from the beginning, like for lack of a better word, like I had been accustomed to having people?
You were used to a certain lifestyle, but then when you started living alone, it's totally different.
I see that.
Even for myself, when I started living myself, it was totally different. It was like ndibwere kuchoka kunchito ndifike kunyumba basi ndoti ndigenze I need to cook ndoti ndidye ndibwera lilo linafika point yoti ndinasamuka kuchipinda ndimagona pa sitting room.
Same thing happened to me because I didn't see the point of actually going to my bedroom and material pa sitting room basi
ukangoleka kunchito pa sitting room you do everything there basi kungoneka movie watopa ubatulo pompo mama wauzuka pompo so kama ukaka rulini kajoti it's a different kind of life, you know. Life imene umakhalira ngati kunyumba with your parents ndi mmene umakhalira noweka. It's different.
It's an interesting take. I have to think about that extensively.
It's totally different. Because even the way you eat.
Yes,
totally
different.
Yeah.
Because now I'm trying to think about it from that perspective to say, had it been that, let's assume that but anyways, like you said, we always have people around. I feel like there's nobody who can grow up and exist without having someone there.
Yeah.
You cannot be a baby and just grow up like Tarzan. Even Tarzan had friends, man.
Exactly. The monkeys.
For lack of a better example.
The monkeys.
Like that's the thing. That's how we're so social. We need other beings around us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So in that case, I think we need to. I was thinking about how we can navigate that space to say, what are the stages to getting to a healthy relationship? So I wanted to pick your brain to say, what do you think about that? How do you think a relationship starts? And so that we can take it from there.
It starts with attraction.
Attraction.
Yes, attraction. That's the first step. All right, you get attracted to somebody, and then you make a move, and then you start dating.
You make a move.
You make a move. You make a move. And of course, these days, it's not only for the guys that make the move.
Yeah, times have changed.
We're living in different.
I like that take. I like that take.
So any gender can do the movement. Can do the move.
I will take it up from there. Any gender can actually make the move.
Anybody can do.
Right after this break. Welcome back. So we're talking about relationships, and we so far have looked at how important relationships are to us as people, that they're very crucial parts of our existence. And now we're actually looking at the stages of how people get into relationships, because the overall goal here is to do it right, because I think by the end of the day we agree that a good foundation also means that you have a good result at the end of the day.
For sure. If something doesn't start right, it cannot have a good result in the end. So it always has to start with a smooth genesis, you know.
So in my humble rendition of how relationships go, like you brought up, the first step is attraction.
Yes, attraction.
And after that, I think people start to date.
Yeah.
And after dating, the relationship escalates from there, and eventually becomes permanent to marriage and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think today we just wanted to talk about the attraction part.
Yeah.
So what does attraction mean, man? Like, what does attraction mean?
Attraction simply means magnet. It's like a magnet. If you're attracted to somebody, it means there are some aspects you like about that person.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm married, but I'm just giving an example here.
Okay.
Bas kungo mwaguti no ndio tipaine bakaleka attraction. All right. Chifukwa chake evening anthu ena amanena kuti it's normal pana anthu amanena kuti anthu amene umafuna sanda amene amakufuna iweyo.
Yes.
I'm sure you have encountered that hotel.
That has happened.
I'm a crowd and having a job attraction, from the other side.
Yes.
The attraction, exactly. It's just one side. So, even for niggas, it's mutual each other. Of course, and then they encounter love on the first sight, something like that. But then, powerful attraction is very carryable, and that is the foundation of it all.
So, if I'm getting you right, basically there has to be a mutual attraction. There has to be attraction from both sides.
Exactly. It has to be mutual. For what you can't be in a relationship already so attracted to.
Yeah.
In the first place. And it can wake up.
So basically, if I'm getting you right, this is physical attraction, right? This is the way you're looking at how someone looks. Or would the first attraction not be purely physical?
Okay, on that one, I would say it depends, because for a man is usually attracted to a woman because of her looks, normally. But then for a woman, there are so many aspects. A woman looks at several aspects kwa muntu wa muna kuti akaina attracted. Akazabina zonchiro kuti mamuna ndoneka bwanji. All right? Pamene inuyo ngati munthu amuna mumaona kuti mkazi uyu ndioneka bwanji. Amuna tili ndi I don't want to call it kuti vuto komano timaona zizoti okay mkazi uyuyu akuoneka bwanji. Anthu ena akandiona naye aziganiza bwanji za uyuyu. Ndi zimene amuna timaganiza tikakhala kuti we want to be attracted kwa munthu wamkazi or kuti we want to be in a relationship with. And when timaona maonekedwe ake chani sitimatengera kaganizidwe kake no, sitimatengera kuti status yake no. Mostly, of course amuna ena mapanga zote, but mostly amuna makhala attracted kwa mkazi ndi maonekedwe ake. Amuna they're all about the looks, but then akazi ndi ineyo understanding ya ineyo ya attraction. Akazi ambiri amakhala kuti attracted kwa mamuna chifukwa chakuti wealth ya mamuna. Alright, wealth yake patika segment ikena amatengera maonekedwe mamunayo, ndipo segment ina imatengera nokuti the person they want to be attracted to has the guts kuti ndiyaza wa field ina yake kapena ndiyaza wa zina zake. Alright, so kweni amatengera ngazimene zizi maonekedwe sike kweni, but ndalama akhale yaza amaonekedwe ndochepa koma mostly ndi ndalama. And tisangona kuti ndamba ina maona kuti pa uyazapo tonjezeso kwedi kuti amaona kuti munthu ali ndi potential in life. Alright, so they're attracted to anthu kuti ali ndi potential aja. Inu ndineta tinali limodzi ku school, and I'm sure tili ku school kuja you are able to see ena zibwezi zawo zimayambika chifukwa choti mwina ena makutaka ma classmate, but then zibwezi zimayambika za ma classmate zija amakhala ichi kuti adawawa amatha zinthu azinthawiza ma assignment ndikugwida ni munthu amene chifukwa chani ndiyaza wa zina zake ali ndi potential ya zinthu zina zake, not necessarily ndioneka bwino or kuti mwina ali ndalama no. So panali anthu ena amagwidwa chifukwa choti Steve ajatunda ndalama agwidwe na ndi Steve uja so that azioneka kuti akunjoya chifukwa Steve andija ndalama. You see now. And ichi chiso chimene chili ndichoopsa, attraction ndiyoopsa yoyaza ndalama chifukwa choti akazambira makonda life yowalirana. These days, I don't know back then yet, komano panopa, it's all about kuwalirana akazi. Amuna angakwanise kugulana iPhone, angakwanise kugulirani Samsung S24. It's all about this, just mukwenda wapansi zoona munagwidwa ati ino zakhazo lero zija. So basically ambiri attraction chimabwa chifukwa cha materials amene munthu jalirani ali nawo. But for amuna ndiwochepa amuna amene amasatira mkazi chifukwa choti mwina ali ndi gas koma most nambiri mankhula maonengedwe. That's what I can say.
No, actually, that's a powerful take. Actually, when I was coming into this podcast, my mind was thinking towards just more on the physical attraction, but that makes a lot of sense because I'm actually putting myself in my college school days, whereby you could see really people were actually being attracted on different spheres. But something that I've actually come to realize is that attraction is a for lack of a better word, I can say it's a very selfish space, because it does not, you do not really, you're with the person because of what you're seeing. It's a surface layer, it's something that you see, but it's not the core of who the person is. You do not really know the person that well. And in the example of like attraction for males towards females, like you said, most of the times men, we look at a woman by the way she looks and we're like,
exactly,
it's a trigger for an attraction.
Exactly.
And that is what will actually push us to say, okay, I want to initiate a conversation with this person. It's not all the times that it's based on the physical attraction. Sometimes you could be attracted to someone's intellect. Like you said, some men would also be attracted to women's status. All those things also apply, I think, on both sides of the paradigm. But I think now maybe focusing primarily on the men. I'm a firm believer, Kuri, we are very different people. And we've got different characters. But there has to be a baseline. To say, if at least you achieve these things as a man, you become an attractive male. So what do you think could be those, in your personal opinion, from the research you have done, what do you think are the things that a man needs to at least achieve to become an attractive male?
One of my favorite movies is Scarface. Alright, Scarface. And Scarface said in one of the scenes, for a man to be relevant, you need to have the money. When you have the money, you can have the power. When you have the power, you can have any woman you want. Those three things right there. You get the money, and then you get the power. When you get the power, you can get any woman you want. Okay? So basically, in this world, honestly speaking, we are living in a world whereby money can speak. Literally, money can speak. Okay? So, for a man to be very attractive these days, you need to have the money.
Why?
You need to have money.
Why? Why is money such a very relevant tool for attraction?
Relationships survive because of money. Money is not love, money is not everything. Amwene, can you manage to stay in this house if you don't have money? Can you manage to buy airtime to talk to highly attracted kwa inwaja if you don't have money? Money is important, only that people demonize money. That's the problem. But for one to be attractive, you really need money. It's not that you need to have too much money. There's a difference. You should have money, not too much money. Just have money so that you have to look smart because of the money. You have to be able to do things properly because you have money. It's not that you are going to have money every time, all the time. No, but you need to be stable in terms of having cash flow.
That's fair. Because while we were talking about this, I was thinking about how let's take it back to the prehistoric years, whereby money was not really a material, like it wasn't really substantial to our ecosystem. You'd find that, for instance, I like watching Vikings. I loved it. I like the experience that I had from Vikings. I feel like maybe
Ragnar.
I feel like most of the things that most of the benchmarking for this conversation was based on that, because when I was watching it, it gave me a very realistic view of the baseline nature of people. So what I realized was that when you look at it from a non-complicated, non-civilized 21st century type of view, this guy's purely, it was the man will go out and hunt, or the man will go out and go to war
and kill.
Yes, so basically this was the man's way of going to provide, and the woman would be home and she would be managing the assets of the home. Let's say the children, she would be doing the farming, which meant that she had a very vital role, right? And when the man comes back with the spoils of war, or let's say for the hunt, they've come back with the meat, then it will be the woman's job to manage what the man has brought back. And I'm a firm believer that nature does not change. As much as we're evolving quickly as a society, at the core, like we say, even the issues of relationships, at the core, we still want things that are already embedded in our nature. And I believe that still resonates now, even though times have changed. So when the man goes out there, he's basically going to provide. But also there was an element that there was a level of security that a woman would have, because she knows that my man is around, because she know that I am protected, because there is this strong figure here. Even dating back to times of like before Ragnar's and the rest, even then, because they were living in the wild, there would always be attacks from wild animals and things like that. So it would basically be primarily the duty of the man to protect his family from other outside external forces. So agreeing with you, you find that, for me, I look at it to say that basically a man should be able to do these two things. He should be able to provide, and he should be able to protect. And in today's world, the man who has got money is standing very highly on this platform. So I totally agree with you.
Even going back to the Bible again, even the Bible says a man was created to be a provider. Okay? The Bible, even there are so many examples in the Bible whereby a man was supposed to be providing for the family, for the wife. All right? Meaning that even in this age, regardless the time, the changes in time and whatever, a woman gets attracted to somebody who seems to have the potential to provide. Simple as that. How is this person going to provide? Having money. You see? So it's just like, as you have put it, it's just nature. It's how things were designed. But then the only problem is some women overdo. They abuse this little thing that we were given. I'm saying this because even though a man is supposed to provide for the family, or because that's our duty, right? Others abuse the man so that they have to provide beyond their capacity. Ineyo mupezeke zoti muli ndi mkazi wakhala attracted kwa ineyo chifukwa choti aona kuti Steve ali ndi potential. Alright? For instance, Steve ali ndi potential. Ukhala akuyendera gali motenjani zachiwe zabwinobwino zija. And then basi apange zija zoti ineyo mutani mukhale na relationship. and then aone kuti Steve chifukwa ndi potential, and then abe kupezeka zoti akupanga abuse. Iwe ufike point jokuti beyond your capacity. Mufuna zoti nkazi yakufuna iPhone 15 Pro Max inuyo koma ndi capacity yanu simukwanisa, mupite mpaka namukatenge ngongole kuti mumusangalatse munthu uja. Yeah, ufuna Brazilian hair 150,000 kandi bwanji mugulire, koma nthawi ineyo niyo muli ndi ofinyika. Kuli ma BBL pano. Now I don't know ngati mwana kuno zinayambika zimene but zino ngati zimenezo. So it's like ena amapanga abuse ino munthu uja kumufikisa kumufinya to the point yokuti wadusa capacity yake, limit yake waidusa ndikufika no point yoti munthu akukhala ngoko Steve kukuma nanu mwaonda mungokhala udandaula chani. So zimakhala issue yokuti ndizovuta. Attraction chabwera inde chifukwa choti akuona kuti uli ndi potential, but then akupanga abuse in some way.
So what are we saying? Because now if a man is supposed to provide, right?
Yeah.
If that is the rendition. If a woman is asking the man to provide,
yeah,
isn't he basically doing his job?
There are limits.
The limits?
There are limits. Let me ask you this. You know Mugire, I want to do more potential, right? You're a provider, isn't it? I was a more Maybach. Would you manage to do it?
I'm a provider, man.
So you can do whatever it takes to buy a Maybach.
Just kidding. Nah, man. I'm trying to make that. So, okay, basically, because the reason why I'm asking that question is to say, we have to also establish, like you said, we have to establish limits.
Yeah.
Now, what is the limit that a man is supposed to go in a relationship? Because in this stage, basically, these people have just started the relationship. I mean, they're at a stage of attraction.
Yeah.
So basically, at this stage of attraction, how far should a man go in terms of his, like we said, his show of provision?
That also depends. Level ya mene munga bangire limit ndi level imene angazibangire limit Jay-Z, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk nzosiyana. So there's limit imatengera ndiwe munthu umene ukuzionera wekha. Ineyo ndinene literally Elon Musk kumapita ku space ndi akazi. Ineyo lo tinene tadula neya ticket mupite pa Dubai pompa mpita. You see now? So it's like iwe no umaona weka ndi mapanga earn more. I shouldn't go beyond jani limit iyi. Otherwise ulowa kungongole, ulowa kusakhala bwino, kuyamba kufinyika, kuyamba kuvutika, akuthawa akakumana ndi anthu ena kuti ali ndi potential atha kudusa pa limit ya iweyo paja akusiya. So
I think now this is getting deep.
Exactly.
This is getting heated.
Exactly.
So now let's assume Guri, as a guy, you see a fine girl.
Yeah.
I am attracted to that girl.
Yeah.
Right? But your pocket cannot, well, you assume that your pocket cannot, you cannot afford. Because now at this point you're in the attraction phase. After this attraction phase, you initiate contact.
Exactly.
If you know that you cannot afford her desires, should we say that a boy should not approach? A boy should say
Nchichewa palimao kuti alidere nkulinga utaenda naye. Right?
Okay.
Meaning that munthu wamudzowa bwinobwino utaenda naye, wakhala naye. That's when you know munthu uja bwinobwino. Chifukwa don't judge the book by its cover. What kuti wamujaja munthu uja bwino sali choncho. But then iweyo ngati wamuona di kuti uyuyu, if you are really sure kuti uyuyu so it's better to avoid her in the first place. Why get into the lion's den if you know kuti maybe munthu uja simungakwanise chifukwa cha high maintenance as we are putting it, kuti mwina kuti manidzi ake ukuona kuti apangisa zoti iwe ukhale moyo wako wofinyika. So don't do it in the first place. Kangane na class yanu basi. Ngati uli tradi, ngati matradi zako timene ngati manage. Alright? Chifukwa it would not make sense kuti iwe ukuzoona kuti ndi wa class ya musi. In the upgrading is good. Yes, upgrading is good, but then uzoonanso kale ndi iweyo kuti ndikwanisa ndikamapanga upgrade ndikwanisa kulingalira zokuti ukungopanga zimene zichazo chimene chikupanga motivate kwenikweni sili kuchiziwa mwina ukufuna umumvese wina ake kuwawa mwina you want to prove a point kwa anthu ena ake funa anthu amakhala tu relationship zifo zosiyana-siyana. People have different reasons.
That's why I called it the selfish space, because at attraction people are doing it for so many different reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anthu ena amakhala kuti ali attracted kwa munthu for different reasons. I'll give you an example. I was watching interview ya Cat Williams, the Shannon Sharp. Apparently Cat Williams anafunza were you married? Anakana. But Cat Williams has 10 kids. 10 kids.
Okay, but
10 oka koma agenda atatu ena anapanga adopt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he said kuti anakana kuti sanakwatireko koma ndana chabe. All right? De anazana kuti ku court anaitandidwapo kuti akankhe mulandu oti anakwatirapo andi anamusiya mkazi. And then kukotiko atafunsa bwinobwino wina nakhalapo assistant wake for a long time chanchani you see like attraction. But then anafunsa kuti wonder were you married? And then the lady said yes, I was married to him spiritually. You see now, meaning kuti the girl was just attracted to Cat Williams pazifukwa zina ndi zina, but then Cat Williams was not, you know. So uyu anaindima wrong reasons chifukwa anaona zoti uyu mwina ndi celebrity plus ndo ndalama. You see now, so anthu amakhala attracted kwa anthu ena zifukwa zoti zosalongosoka. Komanso anthu ena amakhala attracted kwa munthu ndi chifukwa especially anyamata ambiri panopa amakhala attracted kwa munthu akangona kuti msika ndioneka bwino. Attraction ichi suti makhala ambiri aja kuti ndiyeni amafuna ichi kuti amakhala ndi ka hidden agenda kokuti they should just do it once and then
they disappear. No, that's true.
On to the next one.
That's true.
All right, so takamba mwachikulu pako koma anthu amvesesa zimene tikutanthauze kuti zili common zimene zozo zili common. So
I think still hinging on the issue of like I think so we don't deviate too much from the question that we had, that if a man if you see that the girl is high value, a high value woman in her own respect, and you cannot afford, for me I feel like I would take it in a different spin to say I think the man should go for it.
Oh really?
Yeah, if you're, because you are attracted to who you're attracted to, right? And the thing is, there are different things that actually drive us up to a place whereby we decide this is my type and this is the type of person that we're attracted to. I believe that life is very short, and I don't believe that you should be playing it safe, because now it means that you're pretty much
limiting your chances.
You're limiting yourself, or you're living the life that you truly do not deserve. But something that I want to echo back on that you said was you brought up this issue of a man of potential.
Yeah.
I saw some study that was done to say that if you take a girl who's got let's say a comfortable lifestyle, and she gets two men to ask her out. Let's say she goes out with a man who's got money. He shows her the expensive lifestyle and expensive restaurants and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then this broke guy who comes through, right, and goes like, I say, this is how I live. For me to make money, I have to go do this hustle, and then when I do that, I'm going to make some money. And when we make that money, that's when we're going to go eat UI. The study said that there's a high potential, not 100%, but there's a high potential.
The probability is still there.
Yes, the probability is higher that the girl would actually be attracted to the brokey. But the reason why she's attracted to the broker is not that he's broke and useless, it's that he's got potential. And two, people want to be part of a part of growth. So the notion was that the girl will feel that she's part of the growth journey of this man. It's like a project.
Yeah.
So what will happen is next time she's gonna come to his house, and then she's gonna go like, oh, he doesn't have this, and then she's gonna bring a mat, for example. She will feel like she's part and parcel, and I think it goes back to what you've been actually iterating a lot.
Yeah.
The Bible, to say that from the Bible, to say that woman is a helper.
Yeah.
So in this case, the woman feels more attracted to this man who has potential. He's not just sitting around. He has got a lot of potential, but also he's allowing her to exercise her helping nature, which was given by God to say, you'll be a helper to man. Because now she sees herself and says, okay, I see the gaps, and I think this is where I'm going to feel. While the rich man usually just, everything's fixed. The woman doesn't feel like she's helping. She becomes more of an asset.
And to make matters worse, most of those women are signing prenups. Prenup. But then I get your point.
You have prenups in Malawi though, but anyway.
Others do, man.
Yeah, but the point is you have to, I feel like for a man to be a highly attractive man, I think you have to be, because clearly I think from the whole story, you have to be a man of purpose. Because for me, if you're a man of purpose, whether you have money or not, but if you've got a clear vision and future, because that's something that women also want, is a man who has got a vision to say, this is where we're going.
Not all women. Natubaja anasanka mamuna wabenzi not nazeru. Actually, nyimbo imene jayo ikuchita so fit bwino mu subject actually. As you are putting it, but then if you look at that song, the video itself, that's the reality of life. And aina mafuna altengene dunda benzi ya pompo not kuona so potential muntu woneka ochepeke dauti.
Yeah.
You see now, kumagazi ama ka patient wambiri, they would rather date muntu kuti akumona kuti andika potential kuti pang'ono muntu ja kugrow and so on, yes. So para anthu ena amafuna za pompo.
Yeah.
Ndinooneka bwino sikuina ndikanika ndingotengana nimba muno kwa otani otwa ndalama zanga zaira pala kazena kunja ku, it's like you go out in life angwata ni muntu oti olemera zawo zaira bati zaira bombo ena wana hii singalibike sumwe bika school natinza kupeza banja ndi muntu olemera, and then you go on achievement. Attraction ikubwera chifukwa choti ona kuti muntu chindi chani nchana zotero. So and otero aje, you know what, they are victims yoma abuse so mabanja anu galamina jawo chifama tengeda kalula anandipeza ni ndichi chonse school nankanika basi chidebe japa komo babangidwa abuse, you see now. So I believe kuti my relationship amene amakhala bwino ndaje kuti mwatengana nonse mukhala kuti muli ndi potential, alright, maonana chifukwa cha potential iniyo mkazi munamuone chifukwa choti ndioneka bwino, mamuona so naye ndi chani ali ndi potential yoti she can do better in life, akuona niso niyo kuti you can do better in life. Imene je ndi combination ya bwino kwambiri, ndi combination ya bwino kwambiri. Anthu tuona ndi town imu ma family zeno kuti they really doing good, family anthu kumakhala onse ma CEO mabwana. You see now why anaona kuti ndi potential. I will not mention names kuma tuona ndi town imu zochitika anthu kuti onse akuona kuti ndi chani onse ndi potential, kumaona kuti mbiri yawo anthu ajemona kuti anthu awo achokera kutali humble beginning ndipezeka zoti they are doing good, kuona muzinchito zawo zabwino. Alright,
okay.
Koma we are living in a society whereby anthu basi they're just after materials and so it becomes tricky and it's easy to be abused muntu chifukwa choti nasati chifukwa cha materials.
Fair.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now, moving on to another issue that I wanted to check.
Yeah.
Now, does how a man look matter? Because basically we're talking about, I mean, if you've got money, then you're good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now this is us looking at this stage of attraction.
Yeah.
Should men really work on how they look? Because compared to our counterparts, women naturally they are blessed to want to always look good.
Yeah.
But for us men,
we don't care.
We usually work on the scruffy side. So my question is now, in your personal opinion, what do you think about how men look?
Ayimwene pana akazi ena manozuti mamuna ni nthumba maonekedwe benawo ntchito nguza ena malibe nazo ntchito. And to prove this point kuti mamuna zooneka bwinozi, okay, it's pali kuoneka bwino kosiyana-siyana. Pali kuoneka bwino zili kuti uzijudule yambe kuoneka bwino, unali munthu osaoneka bwino uzijudule yambe kuoneka bold. Ndiye pali kuoneka bwino kuti you're just smart. You are ugly but you are smart. There are two different things, man. Two different things. You are ugly, yes, but then you are smart. Umachena bwino umaoneka bwino ka kolon basi ta. Anthu, you know, tawni mumuli anthu kuti inuyo, I'm sure you have seen this. Anthu ena kuti inuyo mwina simutha muona, adawa amachena. Adawa amaoneka smart. Mapezeka zoti mwina swatsikana kumamusatira munthu amene ujayi sioneka bwino koma anthu a smart tioneka bwino smart. Ndikula anthu ena ooneka bwino koma ano alibe umunthu kumathawidwa anthu amene ajawo. Ndikula anthu ena samazisamala ali ndalama koma ena asamasatira chifukwa chiyani cha ndalama. But all in all munthu azioneka wa smart bwino. Chisanzo cha bwino Jay-Z,
beautiful man,
look yake inasintha alibe nazo. Anthu ena mamunena kuti ndi dread chasaoneka bwino chani. That's him. Iye ndi mmene amaonera kuti apapa zili bobo. Akazi ake samanjita complain za tsitsi lake Jay-Z. Anamba kusunga dread inakula pa. Anthu ena mana, this guy looks weird. Amaoneka bwino kale lichakumadulira chanja. The guy has money. That guy is a billionaire. He doesn't care about kuti akuoneka bwanji chani. He doesn't care about that. All he cares is kuti kubanka kwa ndalama zingati. Ma business yake kuyenda. And chino chimene atuma kutekana chimenechi. And oneke bo so that ndigwire. Shut up.
So for you, basically what you're trying to say is the goal is money.
Look smart. Just look smart.
So which one is which? Do you do both? Okay, so in this
Jay-Z, I'll give you an example of Jay-Z. Jay-Z and did ready, right? He looks smart. It's not really he looks smart. And you doesn't look like he still looks smart. Okay? Ine pano ndikakonda kumeta chanchani pano ndamba kusunga tsitsi chani. As long as ine kunyumbako madam sakuchita complain kuti tsitsi langa ndevu chani. As long as ndikuoneka smart ndikumapesa bwino chanchani. Bwino. I don't have to look handsome kwa munthu ina yake ndi as long as ine ndikuona kuti ndili smart munjira imene ndikuyenda kukhala ero. That's what matters. It's not kuti mpaka na munthu uzijudule mukaike matatu chani kuti no, just be the way you are. Just smart. Be smart. Okay. If you're ugly, just make sure you're smart. Yeah, you know, most men are ugly.
You're cold, bro. Like
most men are ugly.
Man is supposed to be not good looking, man.
Mamuna zinyasa. Mamuna anyase.
Shoot.
All right. Ogongola ndi akazi. Mamuna asaoneke ngati mkazi. Yeah.
That's cold.
You know, out there kule amuna inaga ajoti amazifira kuti ndioneka bwino chanchani. That's for girls. Mamuna azinyasa. Mamuna azinyasa. Ogongola ndi akazi. That's why women are considered to be like flowers in this world. Exactly, man.
Man.
So just be smart. To someone, yeah, you're handsome, yeah.
Man,
that's why.
But here's the thing.
Just look smart.
For me, I'll give it to you like this.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
Right, bear with me. This is gonna be a long story. For a while, right, I used to be very conservative about what I eat. I still am. But I realized that for you to actually experience life, you need to try out new things, because there is something that you haven't tried that could be something that you love, right? So, for example, I believe that we're given natural desires for things that naturally just pull us. Like, for example, I want to go bungee jumping, and probably it's something that you never even want to try. It's not in your list. Like, for me, it's like there, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that when you need to try out, because that's when you know where
you belong,
where your tests are, right? So now for me, I'm of the view that a man has to look presentable, right?
That means you're supporting my point, being smart.
Well,
not look good, not good looking.
Yes,
smart. Look smart.
So he has to look presentable.
Yes.
Because by the end of the day, one thing that I've noticed is that in this current generation that we're in, because at this point, like you said, our attraction phase, these people don't know each other.
Yeah.
Right? You're strangers.
Yeah. And pretense.
Yes. It's a
phase of pretense.
It's a phase of pretense.
Yeah.
So basically, at this phase, what I've from the research that I've seen is that based on how you look, women will actually judge you to say, would this man be able to provide? So women will actually look and say, how is he dressed, right? How is he carrying himself? So in this case, does he look good? So for me, I may be agreeing with you as well to say that men have to make sure that all the touch points are right.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you look good. You should look good based on what you can afford.
Yeah.
You should smell good. You should have your hair done properly.
Don't start it, man.
No. What I mean is done properly based on what you...
No haircuts, not necessarily having a haircut.
Not necessarily just having a haircut. What I mean is you could have a dreadlock, but it has to look presentable.
Yeah,
because
just
in
look
this
smart.
moment, this female, because men were the pursuers, were the ones most of the times majority of the times were the ones who were pursuing.
Yeah.
And it is usually the woman who has to say, I'll give this a try.
Yeah.
Right? So if you do not present yourself in the right manner, then you may be the right man for this girl, but
you can blow your chances.
You presented yourself wrong.
Yeah.
You know. So for me, I think all the touch points have to be good. Like, and right now, I say Sanami, Bero Shiri is doing very, very well. I say just go and do Gamjiga. Please take nice things, clean them up.
Yeah.
And I've seen people who you see that they're dressing on a budget, but they look really
smart.
Good.
Yeah. So it's a matter of just looking smart, not necessarily looking handsome. You don't have to be handsome. Just look smart. Panova, I don't think akazena be amachita consider ndakando ndikaze khandana na sasaoneka bwino wendo saoneka bwino. I don't think anto ganiza zonje alibobe. I don't know. But all in all, muntu kumafunika kuti you have to look smart for the sake of usonzano oyo amene muli attracted kwa iyeyo kuti zitakhala zaenda mukwenda limodzi pansi anthu azitha kuchita relate bwino kuti anthu akukhalana osati nkazipezeka kuoneka smart koma iweyo ungo you understand it? So ndishi chokuti maonekedwe ngati tinamanidwa basi. We just have to look smart basi.
I like that point that you just brought up. Basically, I think you attract what you are.
Yeah.
Because now, if I know that I want to attract a high value woman, then I need to look the part. I need to become a high value looking man. Like you said, you don't want to create a scenario whereby she's becoming embarrassed. Mugenda babansewe, and then people should be wondering, good,
maganiza jani mawamene ndopsha tu oti maganiza jani ase mawamene ndopsha, and very embarrassing.
And probably this girl is thinking it would amunanga, but so I feel like you owe it to the other gender.
Mugamenda basankuri
Yeah, so I feel like you need to always look presentable, and like we said, women always look good.
Yeah.
So it is up to us to actually level up so that Tigamanda now, but later on, like they will judge us for this. Will I be able to walk with this man in this
exactly
street? So based on
it also matters. It also matters. If agazama ganiza sonsogole kuti uyuyu taka kutumwa kuti ndizenda naye pasi anthu sandiseka. Chifukwa the funny thing is anthu timaganiza kwambiri za society athu kuti what if pachi chose timaganiza what if ine muthu akuganiza kuti mpanga china chake pazene ubira what if anthu atazaganiza mwakuti pachina what if anthu atazanena zakuti chifukwa cha choice imene tani ndapangaje. So imakhala ichi kuti pamuntu ka what if kacheka makhangatisoka kuti bwezesa mbuyo kuti we have to make a right choice nthawi zina zake.
Yeah, no. I've come to accept that as much as it's not fair.
Yeah.
But our perceptions, the first impressions that we make, they really matter.
Yeah.
I think I had a similar discussion with someone that first impressions are like you're standing on a flat line.
Yeah.
The impression that you give puts you into either the positive or the negative.
Or the other side, yeah.
And when you're in the negative, you have to work extra hard to prove yourself, to say that impression you got of me was not who I am.
Yeah.
So I have come to cherish that the first impression that you make, it actually makes your life easier. So for example, we can say that if you take two scenarios of a man who is looking presentable and a man who is not, the guy who's looking presentable will probably get the girl's number.
Yeah.
But the guy who is looking scruffy, as if he just he just rolled out of bed, will probably get the no because he has put himself in the negative. And for him to prove himself to say, I'm capable of providing, it will be harder. And like I said, echoing back from what I said, Kuti, you have to present yourself to the things that you want to attract. So if you do not get into the door, because you need to get into the door first before you can date the type of people that you're attracted to.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the first impressions will really matter for that very reason.
Yeah, the first impression really matters for many youngers bange presented kwambirire. It's like umakhawa wonesera kala imene iwewe uli. You see? Umaonesera kuti ainayo ndi wewe. If you allowed.
True. Yeah. It may not even be true. It could be something else.
Yeah, so imakhaishi yoti if you allowed ndoti paguluza oneka kuti anthu amatha kuona kuti umathopita pamalo ndikupeza kuti wakumana ndi munthu pali nthu inake umatha kucheza nawo ngati unakumana nawo kalekale ndimene adawa ndikuti ali friendly kwambiri awandazinkhani upeza anthu ena basi zije zoti azizitamirira kuti ni mwakuti umana awa sitingayanjane nawo chifukwa choti ndoyankhula uzikhanga kuti mwakuti pali anthu ena zabwinobwino zija zoti you can relate bwinobwino mosavuta. So impression yoyambirira ndimene imakhala yoti it's very important in a way kuti umamuonesera ndi munthu uja amene wangokumana naye kuti mwina sukuzwana naye chani umamuonesera chenicheni chimene uli.
And that's true. Yeah. But it's like I said, it's not fair. We're judged based on how we look.
Yeah.
Because by the end of the day, it could just be really this day you enjoy it, but this is the impression that you're going to give.
Exactly.
So it's crazy. But now also thinking about it, I came up with this. Whoa, bear with me again.
Yeah.
Wild thought.
Yeah.
But you know about like the law of 1%, right? I think this is now I'm trying to spin it around how we look as a first impression. The law of 1% says that in every sphere there's always a certain grouping of people who are different.
Yeah.
And it means that's why they call the top 1%, for example, when it comes to money.
Yeah.
And from some of the readings that I've done, I've come to a realization that it's very powerful to be different.
Yeah.
Because it sets you aside.
Yeah.
And I remember someone saying somewhere in one of the podcasts, or I think wherever I was, someone said that if you want to stand out wherever you're going, if it's a party, dress 1% more. So let's say that you're going to a party and everybody's just going to be in sneakers and maybe a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You go 1% more, maybe put on a hat. Because people now, when people are talking, they'll say, who is that guy? They'll be like, it's the guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Because you have gone an extra mile. You're not just like
you have something
else.
Unique.
You're unique, exactly. And I feel like everybody is unique in their own right. But even in dressing, in the way that we appear, the way that we talk, because all these things are, like you said, they're the things that people see as a first impression. Even like you said, the way you're talking, the way you're carrying yourself, the way you're walking.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because if you're just clumsy, people will be like,
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it's good to be unique, but then you have to be unique in a good way. All right, you have to be unique in a good way. If you be unique in a bad way, and
what do you think? Like what could be unique in a bad way? You're right.
Mukhale pamalo ndi munthu oti pa grouping yabwinobwino telekeze kumalo kwina kwake yanchani machills bwino kumane ni munthu otukwana. I don't think people can be attracted kwa munthu amene ujayo otukwana unless akhale kuti onse ndi otukwana.
True.
Okay, so komano under normal circumstances malo dabuno bwino and you want to be attracted to somebody, you have to present yourself in a unique way yokuti ikhale di ya positive. All right, so that munthu just atasomona kuti adawa wadi ali unique in this way and it's good.
Yeah.
Koma usati basi mwakuti phuzo.
Yeah.
Ngote phuzo basaduse munthu phuzo anthu oziti you see now. So to be unique is good, but then in a good way. It has to be in a good way.
That's powerful. Man, I think we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, man.
But I feel like so far at this point, people are now attractive. Men have become attractive. They're now in through the door. The girl has said, I'll give you my number.
And mwina so baba anthu amene tina mandido maonekedwe, I'm sure sondoli tikhala tikupanga ma means only we have to look smart. Maybe people are doing it in the wrong way, but then they know what to do. They have to look smart. Samba buno bwino, ka dressing ka buno bwino kache. You look smart, I say. Chifukwa mamuna do anthu tusama mikira kuti madawo ndioneka bo. No, people be like, adawo. Aoneka smart. Ine sinavepo anthu akuna even amuna anza kumwa kuyamikira. Say, you're looking smart.
Yeah.
Not necessarily kuti say, iwe ndi ndioneka bwino. I mean, I'll be like, what's happening? Olo muntu atakaoneka bwino, mamuza I say, you're looking smart. All right, that's a better way of doing things, you know. So basi we have to look smart for a guy to be attractive to kwa gazette. Tanagale look smart and have the money. Yamusango khalira tu baziro ya. Iyo ndi ndi fact akula kuti sanamizane. Iyo ndi tisanamizane. Have the money, not too much money, just have money. Kuti uzoneka kuti
you can provide.
You can manage to live a certain life. That's it.
Yeah, man, that was powerful.
Only 50,000 ine masiku only 50,000 ndamechepa 50 pin yomwe you said and kaunjika utakatola ti majini titatu chani kasapato. You look smart. It's not good you need $1 million to look smart. No. It's easy. Anthu ali majini awiri koma amatha kupezeka kuti akuoneka smart majini awiri omwe. Ama achapa bwino timalaya achapa bwino samba bwino akuoneka smart. That's what is needed.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I agree. Yo, I said this was debated. This was heated. This has been a lot.
Yeah.
So, like we said, this is just our opinion. This is from the research that we've done, from the observations that we've had. Yeah. These are some of the things that we've noticed that make up a high value man. Yeah. So we say the man has to be able to provide, he has to be able to protect his woman, he has to be able to look presentable.
Yeah, you have to be presentable.
You have to look
smart.
Yeah, and but also to add, you have to look presentable within your means. You don't have to go overboard.
Yeah, usalowe kungongole chifukwa choti ufuna upanga impress nange. Don't live a life upanga impress anthu. Can life and kumukhala smart popo.
Yeah, and actually someone said that being authentic, being who you are, being real is actually one of the most attractive things that women like.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Exactly.
I'm assuming so.
If you are just pretending, then you encounter a lot of problems. You know.
So we love that you've been there. So please do comment, share your thoughts, your ideas, your views. From what we have discussed, we could have missed some, we could have exaggerated some, but we would like to actually hear from you so we can discuss and share, so that we can actually create a high value society.
People need to be of high value
these days. High value, man.
We're living in 2000 and what?
20 something, 24.
2024.
Vision 2063 is just very, very close.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
We have to be smart and
high value.
You know, if you have something of high value, obviously you attract things of high value. But then live according to your limits.
Yeah.
I know.
So like we said, high value people, they subscribe.
Down there, man.
High value people.
Down there.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
That one.
Yes.
High value people.
And
they get that pop up on their phones. Keep it in. The video is out.
Yes.
High value people comment.
They do.
They share.
They even ask questions.
But you know what?
Yeah, man.
I'm guessing that these high value people will not share these videos because they're too good. They're too good, my man. Like, I feel like these high value people. But anyways, like we say, we'll see which ones are high value people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're here for you.
until next time, man.
Peace.
Yeah.